Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of iCast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skulls and Shackles. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon,
Maximus Shans,
Ataraxia Kalian,
and Buster Bilgewater.
a random encounter with 6 successes, rather 6 sixes, 4 sixes. What am I talking about? It's an exciting time. We're doing a boat-based combat here. As the Satyr's song comes up to the Chalaxian vessel, who have sunk the free captain's ships and maneuvered themselves just right to get in line and to attack board, we jump right into the middle of this ship combat for our adventuring crew here on this week's episode of iCast Fireball. So we jump to the top of the round. It's the boat. So we go to the pilot here, according to the rules as we have read them in the player's guide here for this adventure. So, Josh, as the pilot, what would you like to do here? Would you like to keep doing this diagonal? Would you like kind of pivot?
I'd like us to move hard to starboard, intentionally with the point of the port of our ship to be facing the aft of theirs.
Okay, sure thing. So we're going to pivot and move forward here. So let's move you. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the hard to stern is basically just a direct pivot, turning them to where you're almost like about to ram.
Still moving forward. Yeah. So we still get some forward movement, but move the kind of the pivot off of the back end of the ship, essentially.
Yeah, and although ramming is a very viable strategy here in ship combat, you actually don't have a ram installed yet on your ship, so you probably would sustain some damage if you did a traditional attack in that manner. But you are positioned ideally, as you just said, yes.
Okay. Did I need to roll for that at all?
No, for this one, it was just that standard action. You've got that advantage here, so
okay.
Just for now, let's say you didn't have to roll as we keep filling out these rules, right, for the pilot here. So, and we jump into initiative there. So, Max, we jump to you. The Ballista are loaded now. So, we've got 3 on each side, forgetting that Ballista, of course, on boats now, not cannons right now, since gunpowder is not known to be discovered on common ships. So you've got 3 ballista on each side. The 3 on the starboard side are going to be closest to the ship right now. But what would you like to do, Max?
Now that they're loaded, I'll just direct the crew to hold steady now, hold steady. And I am waiting for an opportunity to fire.
Okay, so you're telling them to hold an action, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
but I know, like, until the next turn, we're not gonna... Yeah, I will tell them to hold fire until I give the order.
Because the ship could move itself. It could move in an advantageous position as well, and then you could have them loose fire when it moves, right? So this is just a traditional hold action, like in combat. So you're just... is there any particular thing they should look for with this hold that they should be looking for to let loose?
Well, if I'm understanding correctly, isn't Buster trying to get us just directly behind so that our front is to their stern?
He might be, but you're down below, and so you're not able to communicate with him quite yet about that information. So you're kind of trying to see what he's doing, but he might be doing that from what he's kind of positioning himself to be right now. So,
yeah, I'll just direct the crew. If you've got a clean shot, let loose.
Great, so hold the action until they get a clean shot. Jacob, I'll let you interpret what a clean shot would look like, and so you can direct that, all right?
Clean shot. You have the boat. We are aiming at the boat.
Well, I know, but both of our sides are not even directed at the boat, so I can't shoot right now.
That's true. The starboard is where the ballista is. 3 on the starboard, 3, and so...
I wonder if the goal would be, like, are we aiming for people, for the ship, for the sail?
I would imagine we're aiming for...
Like,
yes, I know that there's... Yeah, you're right, Josh. In the mechanics, there's different things you can aim for. For now, I'm aiming to just... I would say to damage the ship and also possibly the speed mechanisms to maybe even paralyze it. which I think that's a specific mechanic. Yeah, there's a mechanic to that, which I can read up on.
It's called propulsion.
You're called propulsion.
Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Attacking propulsion.
great. Sounds good. We'll jump down to the actual ship now. So this ship is startled, and they are going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be doing a hard to starboard, and they're going to try and pivot out of here as well. So now their starboard is almost facing your starboard, as they have now pivoted their way to be advantageous. Their ballista now able to be trained directly onto kind of the front of your ship. Not all of it be ideal there, but they could let loose here if need be. They are loading though. They were, again, you approached them, you snuck up behind them. They're taking a moment to try and load and get everything. You can see the 10 or so free captain pirates left on the deck, essentially, with a few guards, while the rest are frantically trying to get ballista loaded, and orders are being shouted out for them to hurry up. But that's going to be their turn right now. The next turn, they will have their ballista loaded, though, and ready to fire for sure. So, Buster, we jump down to you after the Chalaxian vessel has finished their turn.
All right, I'm going to cast Firebolt. Smote in flames, mote I rain. And I want to fire at the mage, not the ship. I want to fire at that guy. 120 feet range, and it's going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's a 21. That's a hit.
And he takes, let's go. Did I just roll 2 9s?
Oh, my gosh.
18 fire damage on that bad boy.
What? Wow. 2 9s.
He took out my water wave.
I don't like it.
Hell hath no fury as a bunny scorn.
I say, swig salt, you sateless weevil.
Love that. Yeah, that is, this is a wizard's bloodied. That's a ton of damage to them. They are not looking good. They were already exhausted from the counterspell, actually. They were, like I said, they were dabbing their forehead. They were sort of like taking stock and pulling back their robe, when all of a sudden just gets right in their face and right into their robe. And part of them is actually caught on fire. We'll see if it continues to catch on fire in the next turn here. But yeah, they have started to catch fire. So well done, Buster. We jump now to Ignis.
Ignis will move from the main deck forward to the head on the bow of the ship. And with her longbow, we'll try to hit the pilot specifically of the enemy boat.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, go and roll.
Which on here it says the occupants get partial cover, so it's +2 to their AC. 23.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a hit.
Oh. Never mind. I was going to do a bonus action first, but I didn't, and that's okay. That's not great. That's only a 2. Got him in the hand.
2.
The steering hand.
Yeah, and you get him. You actually pin him to the wheel. He's like, frantically like moving the wheel back and forth, trying to get his hand out of this arrow. His other buddy comes up. His hand is pinned to the wheel, so until they can get it free, that might affect how the craftable pilot moving forward. But yeah, 2 damage.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We are farther than 30 feet away, correct?
From front to the back. Yeah, it's like 35 to 40 feet, yeah.
And really just frustrated with the fact that she did such minimal damage with her bow. She just lets out a roar of frustration, and her large angelic wings will sprout from her back in the shimmering red in the light of the sun, and she will do her celestial revelation so that next time I can get radiant damage on that attack.
That you didn't do it before the attack.
That I didn't do it before, but I rolled it anyway. Okay.
Darn it.
That's it. She's going to stay on the head on the bow of the ship.
Ataraxia.
If I make my way to the very tip of the bowsprit there, would it be possible for me to get within 30 feet of the captain of this vessel?
I'll let you do a free free perception check to see if you can identify the captain of the vessel.
It'll be an 18.
18. Yes, you can see the captain is near actually near the free captain pirates on the deck itself, like not by the steering wheel, just right in the middle there, sort of keeping guard as well. And if you walk all the way up, yes, you could probably it would be barely like 30 feet, yes.
All right. So I'm going to do that very thing. I get right to the tip of the bow, and I straddle it with my little satyr legs, and I call out to the captain, and I say, "Oh, you guys are still getting ready to shoot? As you can see, we are already ready to let fire. I suggest to you that it would be advantageous for you to stop and surrender right now."
You're casting suggestion, aren't you?
That I am.
Stop! Yes!
Okay. What type of a save? Wisdom?
That is going to be a DC 15 Wisdom save.
All right, here we go. Got a 14 total.
Whoo boy! Thank goodness.
So just to surrender, right? That's your suggestion, is to surrender, right?
That's my suggestion.
Okay. You feel it take effect, and you see the captain be like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, all right," and they start to talk to the people around, and they start to shout orders. Actually, this is the end of the first round, unless there's anything else you wanted to do, Ataraxia, and I'll keep describing the effects of the suggestion.
Yeah, I think the lieutenant is raring to get up actually in the mix. I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to the lieutenant.
Okay. As you give Bardic Inspiration to the lieutenant, the captain of the other ship is starting to bark some orders. I'm going to roll a percentile dice to see how likely. Normally, captain orders are followed without delay. But, and Ned, correct me if I'm wrong, the Chilaxians are very prideful people. So,
Quite a bit, yes.
yeah, so I'm going to say that there are probably, if the captain starts talking about surrender before a shot is even fired, there's probably going to be not easily taken. So I'm going to be rolling a percentile dice here at the beginning of the round before your ship takes action here, just to gauge how likely people are to accept this result of the captain ordering the rest of the crew to surrender. The captain's saying, "Surrender! Surrender! Everybody! Put your weapons down! We're going to have a conversation!" And I'm going to roll a D100 here to see what happens. 35. And so there's a 35% chance.
He's getting mutinied.
It's not going well with the surrender. He goes, "We are going to talk. We are going to have them over. We are going to speak words." And the others are being, "You are a fool. You should have been." And one of the people guarding the free captains actually goes to the captain and punches him right in the face. Ooh. And knocks him down on the ground, and just goes, "Ignore the captains. We are taking these people out. We are destroying them for the might of Cheliax."
Oh, in response to that, I just want to turn to my crew and say, did you see those people disrespecting their captain? I think we need to teach them a lesson.
We now go to our top of the round of round 3 here. Pilot Buster, you are piloting the ship.
All right, I'd like to shout, "Here it comes, guys!" and I'll start stomping my foot really fast, like Thumper on the deck of the ship, hoping that that Max can hear me, because I'm going to take us full ahead with the intention of our ballista having a clean shot for that held action.
So you're going to go diagonal. You're still be diagonal to the ship, right, the enemy ship, but it is going to open up for the 3 ballista to open fire, right?
Yeah, because full ahead is you go faster, like as fast as you possibly can, straight forward. So not normal speed,
yeah,
but with the intent of picking up speed. And I want to get us to the point where we won't be directly, like, you know what I mean, perpendicular to them, but it looks like we will have a better shot than not.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Easy enough to do. You are, you're just as you're hitting this diagonal, almost forming a point with the back of their boat. and the front of yours, forming that point. The no roll needed for now, and Max, it goes right to you actually as this happens.
Well, I would say, if that's the action that's happening, it is I guess
It would trigger his
held action
attack.
is triggered
His
now?
held
It
action.
would trigger it, yeah, before your turn actually. It would trigger the held action.
And
So
he'll just say, loose on the rigging! And shooting toward the sails and the rigging, the propulsion system.
doing it. We're doing
nice.
So, from what I've read, I roll if I'm doing a broadside attack, I can loose all of them at the same time.
Yes.
But it's all one roll. So, if it's a success, all of them hit. If it's a miss, all of them miss.
Yes, that's true.
I could fire them individually, but then it would take, the way it's written, it almost seems like I would have to take multiple actions.
You would. It's best to just...
I mean, I do have an extra attack, so I guess I could use 2 of them to attack with 2 ballistas, but anyway.
I think for now, I think it's best to just let all 3 loose at once.
Let's do
with
it.
A single roll.
Thematically, it could be that some of them hit, but they don't hit crucially. You know what I mean? Like with D&D AC.
That is what am I adding to this? What do I add?
Good question.
Because in the description, it says you have to like take a feat to...
Let's have your skill profession here. So for you, it'd be your dexterity plus your proficiency. So, because that's your sail check right now.
It's going to be a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. That is a hit. Before I go any further, Ned, what were you saying?
Oh, because I did the inspiring speech the previous round, does that apply to this roll that the crew is making right now?
Oh, yeah. We had talked about it being a +2, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 21 to hit. So wonderful.
It does say also something interesting in the table that if I roll a 19 naturally or a 20 naturally, those are both critical hits. But I didn't roll natural.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
a crit.
I didn't roll natural.
Let's
So
go.
it's a 19. It's not a natural, so not double, unfortunately. But that would be then 20 with the +2 from Ned's. That's 21 then to hit.
Yeah. So if it was a 19 on the die, it'd be a crit. Yes,
Okay,
that's correct.
3d8 is the damage to the rigging specifically.
Yes.
Which there's a table that shows the rigging's kind of the effect of
Hit
it.
points.
Yes, it says that the rigging, sails or rigging, base AC of 6, the hit points are 4 per 5 feet square.
Okay.
I'm not sure how you want to total that for yourself, but... Okay, 3d8. Here we
4
go.
hit points for every 5 feet square.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're easier to repair, but it sucks getting them hurt in a fight.
Yeah. If this image of their ship is to scale, we're looking at probably, 4 5-foot square sections?
It's like 16 hit points.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say 16 right now. We'll say 16.
I rolled 16 for damage.
16.
You did. I rolled a 7, a 6, and a 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so describe that to us. Just the ballista.
I mean,
Right?
Man, my crew, they were just ready. They were just like, man, this takes forever. And they aim it, and literally like how in like a Robin Hood movie or Brave, where like an arrow goes through an arrow, the first ballista hits, the second one hits through that one, and the third one hits through, and just the mast just kind of goes flying into the ocean.
Each one, the mast just cracking, just crack and crack until finally it just splinters all the way through, and just the mast and just falls and starts this big old divot into the rest of the ship while there's chaos running. The free captain pirates are now standing up and they're running. They're charging the other people in this chaos and like not like headbutting them, and like just they're still tied up, but they are just rolling and trying to like just pin them down essentially. Well done, Max, and your crew there in the weapons area. So, and that was the end of the movement. So Max, it now goes to you actually. 'Cause that was your held action.
With that, their ship is dead and done. It can't move anymore because
It cannot
they
move.
don't have oars, I believe.
It's
No.
you don't see any oars as of yet.
So I will just, good one, lads, good one. And I'll walk up to the top deck and just look at the captain and go, Captain, anytime you're ready to board.
And I look at Max and I say, that guy who told the rest of the crew to disobey their captain, I think we should get rid of him first.
Yes. So, with that order, how far away is the ship from me?
So it's about 30 feet
All
right
right.
now. Actually, no, you're about 10 feet. But with that that diagonal maneuver from Buster to position yourself really close, you're about 10 feet from them.
And how many feet can you jump?
A number of feet equal to if you get a running head start, you can jump a number of horizontal feet equal to your strength score, not modifier, strength score.
Your strength score. So my score is 12. So I can just jump to the boat.
Yeah, so you can just run and then just put your foot on the railing and just over the open water.
Is jumping an action, or is it just a part of my movement?
It's just your movement.
All right, I'll just... Aye, Captain. And I'll launch over to the boat, land, lift up my ballista.
It's a very Assassin's Creed moment as the ships are yelling at each other, splinters are flying in the air, slow motion, just windmilling in the air, Max windmilling in the air as he's pulling out his massive ballista from his back, lands on the other ship. And what do you do, Max?
I will cast bonus action Slayer's Prey on the mutiny captain who hit the other captain, and I'll just say, "Sorry, I've got orders," and I'll shoot him.
Okay, roll to attack.
That's a 21 to hit.
That's it.
Okay, and I mean, the captain told me, so he is my favored foe. When I hit a creature, I will mark him also as my favored foe for a minute. So I'll add a D4 to him. I take my orders seriously. So that's a D10, D6. Not a great roll, but still damage. We got 10 damage. 10 damage.
10 damage. All right. 10 damage to that fool. Yeah, they are not liking that they have a bolt sticking out of their stomach, and they're like, oh, and they pull it out real quick and throw it on the ground. And they're like, everyone attack this fool over here. Get him out of here. And they are now looking at you, Max. And they are not happy with where they're at, so they are going to actually fire their ballista as well. They have 3 ballista at your ship. They're going to try to aim and just go and just try to sink you guys, basically. So they don't want to have to tangle with you too terribly much. They are in a somewhat desperate situation here. They do have...
Oh, I have an extra attack. Sorry.
Oh,
I attack him
level
again.
5?
Level 5.
Level 5.
And you're like,
Totally
called
forgot.
me a fool?
Hold on, there's still a bolt in this gun that I've got.
That's only a 12 to hit.
Okay, that's not enough. So
Well, it is maybe if you use my inspiration.
Do I have inspiration?
yeah, he gave you inspiration.
Oh, Bardic
last time.
inspiration? Okay, D6, right?
Yeah, right?
Well, I gave Bardic inspiration to the lieutenant, but I have inspiration that I'm willing to give to Max right now.
Oh,
again.
D20 inspiration.
That's gonna hit. That's a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a hit.
So, the first time you hit a creature, so I don't get Slayer's Prey, when you hit a creature with a melee for 1 minute, this effect including the first mark. So I add a D4 every time.
Now,
I
this is
damage
not a
them.
melee that you're doing.
No, but favored. None of this is melee based.
Oh, okay. I thought you said melee.
No. So yeah, all of this. Slayer's Prey you can only do once per turn, but favored foe is just while in effect, including the first hit, you add a D4. So I got that one. That's 5 more damage.
5 more damage. He goes, ugh! So
Do I add my damage type to it again? Sorry if it's an extra attack.
your modifier? Your
Plus your dexterity modifier.
Yeah, 8 damage.
so 8, and then the first was 10. The first one, or 12. The first one.
Yes, or no, 10. I believe it was the lower one.
Okay, so 18 total. They are go. Hey, he's attacking me, you fools! Now, although they don't have the 3 ballista that you guys have, they do have heavy ballista on their ship. And so they are going to roll to see if they attack just your ship in general here. Woo! That's a horrible roll. You got a 5 on the die.
That's cool. I like that.
We will accept that.
Well, if it's heavy, they actually have to take some time to aim.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. We'll say that they have light then, so they will attack. But I rolled a 5. Oh, gosh. 3-mast ship, 105 feet long, minimum of 20 crew, 2 inches thick, doors, giant crew hardness.
It says the AC is the hardness 5 for most wooden ships, and then to calculate the ship's AC, add the current pilot's sailing skill to the ship's base AC. And my sailing skill would be a +6.
So that's AC of 11 to hit the ship. Then. Okay. So, they rolled a 5, and that is not enough to get their 11 AC here for the ship. So their ballista, they go, and they just go wide. It's right about when the mast hits the top deck and it throws their aim off and misfire just off into the distance. So that's them. They're probably not going to be firing and moving forward. They're probably just going to be trying to avoid or repulse the advance party. So that's their turn. Buster, we go to you, though.
Okay, Buster, I'll go ahead and, I'd like to finish off the mage.
Sure. Sounds good.
So, Firebolt.
Firebolt
Keep it
away.
simple. I'm not
sir.
wasting any more spell slots on that fool. That is a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
I just, under my breath, I say, eat dirt and die slow. And that's 12 fire damage.
Well, as you whisper, eat dirt and die slow, they the flame hits them again, and they go and are coughing. They fall to the deck as they crumple into unconsciousness and die.
Well, that was a pretty quick death.
It was a pretty weak mage. Or wizard, I should say. Yeah, that wizard's dead.
That's what you get.
And anything else, Buster?
No, he's
Ignis.
He's good.
Ignis, we jump to you.
With the original captain being under suggestion and then being punched in the face by the mutineer captain, does that end suggestion because he took damage?
It is if I or any of my companions damage the target, the spell ends.
Okay, companions. That's what I thought.
So he's just going, hey, why do you punch me? You need to listen to me. We're going to stop this madness. Our mast is on the top. Come on. It is over already.
All right, since he is clearly still under suggestion to Ignis's perception, Ignis will... Oh, actually, could I make a bid to look at the captured pirates? You said they started to scatter. Is there any semblance of a captain among the captured pirates?
It's hard to tell right now with them being bound and gagged almost. So you'd have to go over there for sure to gauge that.
Great. So Ignis will, standing on the head of the bow of the ship, her body, the image of her body shimmers for a moment, and then she summons an echo that appears right next to her, and together they both flap their wings and fly 30 feet instead of just jumping. She finds a timeline in which she flies over and attacks the pilot that is currently attached to the steering wheel, as she will come down on top of the mutineer captain that is fighting with Max. So 2 attacks from both of them at the same time.
It's a very awkward situation the pilot is in because they turned starboard, and so their hand is actually like on the bottom, and they're like bent down, like trying to hold the course, right? They're like, and then your echo just falls on top of them. So do your worst, Ignis.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Oh boy, reaction, hubris. I'm gonna mark that down in my poem.
There you go.
Let's go.
There we go.
Is it all right if I roll my attacks first and then damage?
Yes, miss.
So that will be the echo on the pilot. This will be Ignis on the mutineer. Oh, that probably doesn't hit. 7, 6, 13.
13 does not hit.
Great. The second one is a 18.
That does it.
Great. So the Echo 4. How many? We are level 5 is 13. So as the Echo surges up into the air and comes down on the pilot, she just takes both of her hands and just comes down and tries to hit him on the head as he's attached to the wheel for, what did I say, that was 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, they go limp.
And Ignis will make a wide circle and then do like a Superman punch across the face when she gets to the mutineer captain for, not great, 7 more points of bludgeoning damage.
That's enough to knock him out, though. With all the damage that Max did previously. Just Superman punch there. They have teeth that fly out due to decay and rot. And the massive Superman punch in the face, and they just fall to the ground, prone and unconscious as you land beside them. And the captain goes, I told you shouldn't have, we should have just surrendered. I was telling you, and you ignored me. Mutiny is never an answer.
Never the
Mutiny is never the answer.
Got us started.
Mutiny is never the answer.
It serves you right.
It serves you right.
Ignis, anything else?
No, then she will just kind of hover above the mutineer captain with her wings flapping, and the Echo will be doing the same thing behind her, hovering over the pilot. And they'll just be flapping their wings menacingly as they're watching this crew below them.
All right, Ataraxia.
All right, well, I'm going to maintain concentration on the suggestion, and I'm going to turn to the remainder of the crew as we're kind of drifting closer and closer and bolster them to prepare them to board this other ship.
We're awesome. Do a sail skill check.
All right. Going to use a luck point on that.
I mean, you could give you a nat 20.
That's true.
I have that
That
one
is
left
true.
at this point.
That is
true.
true.
You didn't say what you rolled. I'm happy to give it to you.
That works for me.
Okay.
Boom. Nat 20.
All right. Yeah, I turn to the crew and I say, today we are going to bolster our ranks with our brethren who we are saving from these Chilaxian pigs.
Nice. And they go, all of them throw up the satyr horns as they're pulling out their scimitars and like their crossbows, and they're like, satyr horns! And they start to actually throw the hooks to board and to grapple the ship in place. So they are boarding now. Some of them are able to jump on just due to the length. One guy does fall in the water, but there are about a handful that do, or 3 of them that do make it across, while the others are securing the rigs to make sure that both ships are just side by side or slowly become side by side to each other. And they all have +2 right now, so as they jump over, the 3 that jump over, I'm going to roll to see how well they do in their attacks against the other crew members there. Since there is a fighting spirit still, even with the first mate down, there is that fighting spirit. So, okay, so 16 for the first, 16 for the second, 18 for the third. So they start doing some damage and just fighting, and it's in full swing right now. Full metal on metal swing.
Ooh boy. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Now we go to the top of the round. It's the ship. It's the pilot, Buster. It's starting to get grappled here, so...
Yep, I will heave 2.
Great. This one, I will have you roll a sail skill check.
Okay. 12.
12? Okay. It does start to slow as you just... you call the sails to be furled up, basically, but not quite fast enough, so you do move a little bit forward. And you start to some of those ropes become unattached, but they're quickly trying to get them back attached to the ship here. So that's going to be your go, and we jump down to Max.
In the layout, because we have our map of the two ships, but we don't have the deck of the ships mapped out. How many of their crew are up and bustling?
Yeah, so I would say there were a dozen, but now there are probably maybe only 8 crew, and they're starting to feel overwhelmed. It looks like this battle's probably going to be over very quickly, especially but you don't know how many people are below, but at least everybody up top will be soundly defeated fairly quickly here, especially with the other free captains chipping in.
Is there a section of the ship where it's just the enemy crew and not our own mingled?
Yes. The bow of the ship is where most of them are pulling. They are actually getting almost like a volley ready. There's only 4 people over there, but they're getting their crossbows. One of them is actually trying to pivot the ballista on the bow around, but they're having a little bit of difficulty, probably because it's not meant to be turned 360 degrees here. So that's where they are.
How many are there for that?
There are 4.
Okay, Max will walk up to them and just kind of stand in front of the bow, like kind of in the middle, so I'm like, just like they're on either side of me, all 4 of them, and he'll just say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And he just starts breathing in. And this, as Max has a low register, all of a sudden it gets even lower, and the only thing he says is, and he will cast his dragon's breath weapon.
Yes.
I love that.
And that is thunder damage in a 15-foot cone going out from me, and each creature has to make a dexterity saving throw, and they have to beat 8 plus proficiency. Our proficiency is 3 right now, so 12. They have to be 12.
12. Okay, so the first one, 6. Second one's a 9. Third one's a 20. Fourth one's a 19. Okay, so 2 of them fail.
So the 2 that fail are going to take full damage. The 2 that succeed are going to take half damage, and it's 2d10.
Okay, and do they get flung backwards?
No, they do not. They do not. It's not like a thunder wave. It's just the damage itself. That is 16 damage.
The 2 that take full damage are they are blown backwards and off the ship, unconscious. The other 2, 8, are very bloodied.
Is one of them handling the ballista that they were trying to get?
Yes, one of them. They actually kind of crumple by it and like fall, not prone, but fall down with the massive amount of thunder damage done to them.
Okay. I will then bonus actions. Can I do a bonus action in between 2 attack actions?
Ooh, I don't believe so. Rules is written.
I think it is possible to do that, rules is written, but I'm not sure.
Well, extra attack, certain. It says 2 attacks per attack action.
Extra attack happens at the same time.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Gotcha.
Okay. So I should have done that before. That's okay. I will, though, with my extra attack, because my breath weapon was 1 attack, I will then pull up my ballista crossbow and unleash it toward the guy who's trying to move the ballista toward us.
All right, roll.
Okay. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
17 hits, sir.
Okay.
And what's the damage?
So straight D10 plus proficiency. That's going to be 11 damage.
Wow. Yeah, they are soundly defeated there, and no longer they are started to crumple. They're fully crumpled at the bottom of that ballista there, and as a result, actually, of this, the one who take the most damage actually raises their hand in surrender and drops their weapon. As you look down at the rest of the ship, the captain is continuing to yell and runs over to the remainder of the crew and goes, "I'm telling you to surrender! Put it down! Put the weapons down! And points to Ataraxia. We like this man! We like this man! This man is... We're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. And he's in like deep red, like wine robes, and like an outfit here. And he goes, "This is the man that we will speak to, and we are surrendering to him." And so, and actually seeing that some people have started to surrender, the whole ship on the deck here, they do drop their weapons and they raise their hand and surrender. And the captain goes over to the stairs. I'm talking to you down there as well. You surrender and you come on up here, all right? We're going to have a conversation.
Could I do one more thing?
It depends.
It's just a talking point. I'm just going to, as that commotion's going on, Max is gonna walk over to the lieutenant, and he's going to go 4-1. Looks like I win this time. He's gonna smile.
Oh.
She just snorts down at him.
It's okay.
4-1. That was
Take
really
the loss
good.
gracefully.
Now, there are some free captains that are actually continuing to attack the surrendering Chilaxians as well. So they're like headbutting them and like kicking them. And so the captain is going, "Hey, we're not surrendering, please. Do not keep punching and kicking us." And there's like somebody running to the captain, and so the captain starts to like run over to Ataraxia and be like, you friend, please, if you please, s'il vous plaît."
Yes, I hop over myself to the new ship, and I say, "New crew members of the Satyr's Song." And I look to all of the other pirates and see how they're responding to this.
Let me go ahead and roll to see. The emotions are high, right? They were just about to be killed, and so they're like, The percentile die, I rolled really high on the percentile die. They are, those that were charging, they see you, and they just stop in place, and they look to you. Some have started to be unbound and ungagged by some of the free captains who were able to get free. And so they are looking to you, and one of them goes, who are you speaking to us?
My name is Ataraxia Kalian. I am the captain of this fine vessel that has just saved your lives from death at the hands of Cheliax.
Buster waves.
We are most grateful for your rescue. We were about to be slaughtered. Allow me to introduce myself to you, Ataraxia.
This is a big, burly individual, very tanned skin, bald head, comes over to you.
Yes, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rexton Corsair at Cap, former captain of the Vorse Fang.
We are terribly saddened to see the sinking of your ship, but if you wish for transport upon these waters, we would be happy to allow you to join with us.
I do much obliged for the rescue, and I am in debt to you saving us. Very, very gracious, very grateful for this.
Insight check.
Go and roll an
So
insight
we're still
check,
on
sure.
initiative, right?
Oh, we
'Cause,
are actually... We've paused initiative. I apologize. This conversation is much longer than 6 seconds here.
You have paused.
You have paused initiative.
The captain has paused initiative.
Have you?
Okay. Ataraxia, go and roll an insight.
Insight. Really? That is a 15.
15. Rexton is a burly individual. It looks like they were wearing quite. They had an outfit that did signify them as the captain, but it seemed to have been ripped, and you can see that there are parts of his shirt that are holes, presumably where maybe like some insignia was ripped off, showing the sound defeat of the Vorse Fang. And Rexton seems humbled in his demeanor, but you do recall the fire in his eyes that as he was charging at the captain as they were trying to announce surrender. Suggestion is 1 minute, 10 minutes?
8 hours.
Cool.
Close.
You know, cool. 10 rounds? No, okay. 1,000,000 rounds. Got
Yes.
it. Cool. Mickey has died. She has died and left the chat. And so, but you do remember that fire that he had to go after the captain, the Chelixian captain. But the fire is not at the forefront right now. But this is a very passionate individual.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I then will look to this other captain, and I will say, I think it would behoove us, as I begin entering into negotiations with this other captain here, if we would begin to loot this place.
A sound suggestion, Ataraxia, of the Satyr song. May we assist in the looting? We are, of course, in your debt, but we would be happy to assist, and if you do not mind me saying so, I've recently lost not only our ship, but our ship was looted quite a bit, and so most of the treasure below actually does belong to the Vorsfang.
Oh. Well, if you are amenable to perhaps giving us just a small token of gratitude as part of that, I see no reason why perhaps we cannot join forces. In fact, would you be willing to join into the crew of the Satyr Song? And then your loot and our loot can be the same loot.
Space for that?
You see,
Am I hearing any of this at all over on the ship?
Oh, we're all there, right?
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm still on the Satyr
Buster's
Song.
at the helm, so
Yeah, I know initiative has stopped, but during that whole conversation, I did cast Locate Plunder, which is locate object, but just for plunder specifically.
just for anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gold for gold.
Um,
It says you can locate objects you of a particular kind. It doesn't have to be something you've seen before, jewelry, furniture, or plunder.
All the goodies.
So you can have a lackey. You can have a lackey take over and be like, "Hey, just make sure we don't blow away, right?"
I'll hop over and I'll say, Captain, if I might, I just want to make a suggestion.
Of course, suggestion is very powerful around these parts.
Badoomch.
It is very true. It's a good thing.
Look, okay, I don't like you. Listen, these are other pirates. They have pride of their own, right? They lost a ship. It's not too much work to fix a mast, and that's the only piece of this vessel that's really damaged. We would like some plunder. They would like a ship. They said most of the gold below is theirs. Why don't we sell them this vessel that we have currently commandeered?
Ooh, that's a cool idea. I'm a fan of that idea.
Rexton has moved away, but has definitely been listening to this conversation, waiting for you to return, as he was hesitant to move forward in any conversation. But Ataraxia, as you come back, he goes,
Monsieur Ataraxia, perhaps we can come to an agreement, some sort of negotiation. As most of the plunder below, I have no need for the filthy blood money of the Gelaxians. You can have what they have, but perhaps we can take a vessel of this nature and we can purchase it from you after you have newly acquired it yourself, yes.
I think that's a great idea. We have rightly plundered the Chelaxians, so we can take their loot for ourselves. The loot that remains that was initially yours, you can then put towards the purchase of this new vessel.
A sound idea, Monsieur Ataraxia. It's one I feared would be quite beneficial for the rest of us, and that way the Force Fang could continue onward, despite being kissing the depths of the sea.
That is very poetic. Have you considered the bardic arts?
No, I do not do well with people.
Oh, I'm noticing that. Okay.
You're one of those captains.
Perhaps we can negotiate the number of plunder you would require for a purchase of such a vessel.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Allow me to offer our bid of 2 full plunder for this vessel.
2 full plunder that we could then turn around into a ram for the front of our ship. Perhaps, we could put that towards any number of interesting things. Now, I would like to, at this point, turn towards the lieutenant and Buster and say, how about you two go down and check the hold and see how much plunder is down there?
Captain, I'd prefer to stay up here if that's all the same to you
I'll look at the plunder.
with these guys.
Yeah.
I think I'll follow you down there, Buster. If that'd be all right with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sandara,
Yes,
you got a good
alright.
head on your shoulders.
Where you been, Zendara? What are you leaving in this battle?
Oh, apologies. I was on the deck like somebody commanded me to be.
Well, somebody didn't put you on the initiative to do any real battling, did they?
Oh, apologies, first mate. Apologies, Lieutenant. As she mockingly bows to you as she walks over to Buster and goes down.
Buster just looks between the two of them like, what's happening here right now? What's going on?
I will have her flogged.
Oh my god.
Mark my words. By the end of this campaign.
I just want to get past a puff. That's all I want.
So, Buster, you go down to examine with Sandar.
Yes, and
Great.
I did cast a magical spell to locate where it is being held.
There are many goodies down here. They are mostly plunder, though. They've got good stuff down here. There is the Chalaxians don't. This is a smaller vessel, so they don't have a ton, but they do happen to have anywhere between they do have like 600 and 600 gold pieces in like art, gems, and like just actual like petty cash, right?
Question for you. How much is a plunder?
A plunder is roughly 1,000, depending where you can sell it. But sometimes it being plunder will be worth more than selling.
How much plunder is down here? I know he offered us 2.
Yeah, so there is about...
And not in the Chalaxians, but like in the actual, like
Yes.
just literal plunder.
Yeah, so there's 3 points of plunder down here.
Okay, so he's giving us the lion's share of what's left.
Yeah, so he's actually
That's a
being
good deal.
fairly gracious.
I was mostly just, I wanted to verify could I, as I'm down there looking at it, could I just do a quick detect magic to see if there's something extra special that maybe he did not tell us about?
Sure, go ahead and roll as you cast Detect Magic. I'm going to roll here on my end. You don't gauge any magical specialty here, so there's nothing that seems to be magical that he's hiding back from you. So, but you've covered all your bases for sure.
All right.
I would also like to know, though, how much Chalaxian loot there is down there.
Yeah, so the 600 gold pieces would roughly the loot that they had down there.
Okay.
Half a plunder-ish, but it's in hard, cold cash, like valuables, not just lumber or like rum and sugar and things like that. So it is actual jewels and stuff.
Okay, these Chalaxians were kind of broke.
I come up with like necklaces and rings on every finger and a tiara on my head. I'm like, all right, there is. I think I'll go to the captain. I've got a little chest of jewelry under my arm. I think this fine captain here is offering us a very fair deal, Captain. The 2 plunder feels like a good deal, and I don't know. We could probably also help fix this mast while we're here.
Yeah, you have treated fairly with us, good Captain Rexton, and therefore the least we can do is offer you our services to help get your new ship shipshape.
You are very kind. Very kind to help us, of course. Thank you so much, Ataraxia. I will speak of your kindness to everyone I meet, for without you, the Vorsfang would be no more.
Well, I would that you should not speak merely of my kindness. Do you know anything about the whereabouts of Barnabas Harrigan?
Captain?
You seek Harrigan, you say?
We seek his life.
Ears back.
Then you are bold. For having never heard you before, you have your sights set pretty high. Ataraxia. I make it a point not to know where Harrigan is, and when I find, I swiftly move to the other side of the Shackles.
You are wise. You are very wise to do so. But some of us have motivations that supersede wisdom.
Holy Moses.
You roll a persuasion check right now, sir.
All right.
Buster has given up all pretense, and his jaw is just on the floor looking at Ataraxia.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
use a luck point for that one. That is an 18.
18. Rexton takes a step back and looks at you, and where once he was this really taking in just this sight of this satyr boy spouting these just powerful words and just...
And the thing that he notices at this point that probably unnerves him is I've started to prestidigitation almost as if like from the bottom of my eyes, this ink-like substance almost filling up from the bottom to cover until my eyes are completely black.
Oh my gosh.
And as he seems unnerved, like he's shook a little bit, and he goes,
Very well, Monsieur Ataraxia. I trust in your purpose and vision, but I regret that I have no knowledge of Arakan.
And I have not been blinking for a solid, 30 seconds or so. And then I finally do blink and my eyes are back to normal. And I step forward and, just kind of pat him on the arm and say, hey, that's all right, man. It is for your benefit that you don't know where Harrigan is. But just let people know that the crew of the Satyr Song are beneficial to those who treat fairly with us. And there is an alternative to that as well.
and as you leave those words resounding in Rexton's ears, as the crew, the Chilaxian crew, well, I guess before we move on, I was about to kind of wrap up the mast getting fixed, Rexton being impacted by these words. We have to figure out what to do with the Chilaxian crew first, before we really can really kind of tie up this whole ship combat. So,
is there a ransom system potentially in this world?
Oh, so like holding these people for ransom and turning them in for money? Not that you are aware of yet. You'd have to go to a major port, and you'd have to try and like take up some bounties or just find out some just like ongoing bounties. So for Chilaxians, you're not aware of any, but these, from previous knowledge, you know that these, of course, Chilaxians are fairly prudish. They can be brutal. They were brutal. There actually are a few dead free captain pirates on the deck here that have to be given a burial at sea. So
I will just turn to the lieutenant and say, you have a sense of the arbitration of justice. If we leave these people here to continue doing their thing, they're going to attack more pirates. And that's not good for us, because we want the free captains to be free. I will leave to you what we should do with these people.
I believe the captain of the ship that went down might have something to say about the fate of these crewmen, don't you?
An honorable and very equitable choice. And I turn towards Rexton with a smile, and I just say, these men are yours.
and Rexton kind of like bows his head slightly, like not like a deep bow, right? Just like a acknowledgement, but with like this respect, goes,
Monsieur Ataraxia, we will take these men.
and immediately the free captains take them and start roughing them up and pushing them down into the hold and holding on to them. So as we finish this ship combat, this encounter with another free captain on the high seas here, Rexton, Corsair Redcap of the Force Fang, and with help and assistance to fix the mast so that this Chilaxian vessel can be fixed in ship shape as the Force Fang can live on. The implication and word of the Satyr's song seeking Harrigan and the friendship that can be gained to be with the Satyr song is sure to be spread by the Vorsfang now. And as the Satyr song, you take pride in this encounter, take pride in having detoured slightly to assist, help out fellow free captains. The sun sets as you cast off and as you sail towards Goat's Head Isle.
Yeah!
And that is where we are going to end this week's episode of I Cast Fireball.
Oh yeah, we were on the way to the Goat's Head.
Yo
Yeah.
ho, me mateys.
Which
Yo
was
ho.
also a side quest from our initial
Yep.
Tide Rock.
That felt good.
Yeah, I will just say I am very glad to have actual counsel from the other players at this table here. Oh, man.
It's really nice to have other
like that.
players
That's
to get
fun.
out. Oh, that's good.
Oh gosh, I'm glad that Ned is the
I
captain.
love
and
that
not
we're
the
not
captain.
keeping them.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything because
Yeah,
Buster's
I didn't
keeping his
wanna
mouth
keep
shut.
them.
Well, I was
but
going to be
yeah.
like, let's drop them off on an island or something.
Drop them off at
Maroon,
Goat's
yeah,
Head.
I was trying to
just
do
like
Cyber Maroon.
yeah, like prisoners take up resources and people trade is a dirty business.
Yep. Oh, I love it. Well, what fun. We've finished our first ship combat. We are sure to have many more in the future, hopefully with more streamlined rules, and we can have more intricacies with siege weapons and more intricate maneuvers here. We are just skimming the surface here. It's going to be a lot of fun. But as always, Mickey, Josh, Jacob, Ned, thank you so much for playing. Listeners, thank you for joining us for this fantastic, just in-depth seafaring adventure. We love it. We love having you here. Thank you so much. If you like what we're doing, please leave us a 5-star review on the podcatcher of your choice. If you do, we will shout you out on an episode, just like we're going to shout somebody out right this second. No One Fleeple Lover left us a 5-star review called Great Show. I love this great DM, great players, great characters, just great. And then P.S. Could you please do a challenge rating 30 Monster Crunch Squad or a level 20 one-shot with the Jinx Squad?
I think that'd be
think that'd be
we need
super
to do a
fun,
ship
actually.
combat crunch squad.
fun. Yeah, seriously. Once we figure it out.
Absolutely. Number one Fleeple Lover, we may have that coming out. No plans right now, but that's a good suggestion. So we'll put it on the list of things to do. And boy, oh boy, wouldn't that be fun. But thank you for leaving the 5-star review. If you want to get shouted out, leave us a 5-star review. Shoot us an email at icastfireball2020@gmail.com or reach out to us on our social medias at icastfireball20. And finally, on our Patreon exclusive Discord at patreon.com/icastfireball20, where you can chat with us every single day. You can react to the weekly episodes. You can react to just anything. We have a food channel on there, and you can react to food, the food of the week, whatever that is. You get to react to it. So join us over there. Speaking of reacting, you should be reacting to Improv Tabletop's new campaign. They've got Spider Batman over there. If you heard last week's episode, it's fantastic fun. You should go listen to them. It's not only a hoot and a holler, it is fantastic in-depth character building, world building in the Avatar Last Airbender universe. Don't forget to leave them a 5-star review on the way out, of course. But lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. And until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcon.
Maximus Shuns.
Ataraxia Kalian.
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.